Hi, this is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny, sometimes Colorado. Today is November 17th, 2024. The year is almost over. Thanksgiving is on the way. We've accomplished a lot of stuff, and we're starting to see a little bit of a rebound, starting to see the passion come back, the fire come back. People are really starting to get excited. 2025 is going to be a very, very good year. The community is coming together. Constitutional Convention is imminent. We're only a few weeks away to go down to Buenos Aires and have lots of delegates talk to each other, get a lot of things done. We're all pushing hard. We're all trying to close out the year very strong. I think that we will get to a great constitution. It'll be a nice compromise of many different things. And then the on-chain government will be able to vote on it. Chang Plus One is currently on testnet. People are playing around with it, having fun with it. And the very first hard fork to be done by the Interim Constitutional Committee, and turning on all the DREPs, and thus we have a full on-chain government. The budget process is underway. Coalition is forming. We like to call it CDEC, Cardano Development and Ecosystem Cooperative or Coalition. Come up with good terminology for it. But it contains all the people you know and love, and a lot of really cool things to do. Marketing is going to be really strong next year. We'll be definitely in force if we can get the budget passed at all the major conferences, bring the community along, and showcase all the wonderful things happening in Cardano. Innovation division at IO has kind of opened itself up. We've been doing a lot of internal innovation, and that continues. But now we're opening up a bit and adding all kinds of things from the community in. So Gummy Worm from Sunday Swap, Midgard from Anastasia, ZK Fold. We're kind of negotiating, talking with the teams, figuring out how to get them into the innovation process to accelerate what they already have so that they can bring what they have to market a heck of a lot faster. We're fighting the good fight across the board and making sure Cardano gets fair and adequate representation. I have been making some strategic investments in various different things, put some money into Maestro. I think those guys are amazing, and I'm hiring a dedicated person to do nothing but make Cardano the dominant platform for Bitcoin DeFi. Got a little bit of competition there, but I think we're best in class. And so I want to get that experience figured out end to end so that people in the Bitcoin ecosystem, they just click a button and they're ready to go. They're ready to use Bitcoin DeFi powered by Cardano. So that'll bring a lot of volume and demand here. And by the way, all those advancements to Hydra are starting to really come to fruition. Hydra Doom has massively evolved the protocol. Gummy Worm Midgard would massively evolve the protocol. We're starting to really get practical with the protocol. And I think people are going to be blown away by the potential performance numbers that a Hydra-enabled application can have. Then you got rollups also there. We're the best rollup system in the ecosystem because of extended UTXO. So I'm real excited about that. Ouroboros Laos prototyping is already heavily underway. We have a team of about 6 or 7 people on it. We'll keep growing and scaling that team up so that we can speed up Ouroboros Laos prototyping. And there's already a fertile conversation that's being held about the new Cardano node, in addition to the old Cardano node, and making that better too. So we're all moving along. The emulator, as I mentioned before, the Nintendo emulator that we want to do on Cardano using Hydra, that'll be the next project after Hydra Doom. So we'll kind of move that team over. We'll scale them up, give them the resources they need. And that dApp store is finally unblocked for Lace. And so that's coming. Lace team is under really good management with Brandon. It took a long, long time and a very serpentine road for us to get that project where it needed to be. And boy, it was hard. But now we have a good team, and we have really good progress coming along. As you guys may have noticed, there's now NAMI mode for Lace. And what this allows people to do is basically transfer their NAMI wallet over to Lace. And if they like the NAMI UX, they can leave it exactly the same, looks exactly the same, only it has amazing code, amazing backend, and it has all that reliability and quality that we've built in. Or they can just click a button and suddenly they're in the full Lace experience and they get access to everything. And that's how you get things done. So we'll continue to make strategic acquisitions. We'll continue to build up that ecosystem. But 2025 is really going to be the year of Lace. It's finally unstuck, and a lot of cool stuff is coming, like multi-sig. We already have the paper wallet generator. Generation 2 will include hardware support for that, so YubiKeys and other things can be used inside the development flow. As I mentioned before, the dApp store, and then multi-asset, multi-chain, bring them all together. So that's a hungry team. They're fired up. Got our passion back. We're really starting to shoot on all cylinders. On the regulation side, been talking with a lot of different senators and definitely engaging with the right people. And we'll basically see over the coming 60 to 90 days how things come together. So I might go to DC next week. It just depends on the schedule and how things come together and the schedule of other people. But I already have some embedded people that have been in pretty deep conversations. And what we're trying to sort out is what can be done through administrative changes and rulemaking, what can be done through executive order, and what can be done through lawmaking. Lawmaking is the hardest, but most permanent. Administrative changes are the easiest, but very ephemeral. And executive orders are live and die by the administration. So the hope is to figure out a consolidated package of the three to make America the best place in the world for cryptocurrency companies. So we can get them all come here in the United States and we can create a multi-trillion-dollar cryptocurrency industry onshore, bring them all back home. So that's an all the above policy then. You have to look at taxes, you have to look at custody standards, you have to protect consumers, you have to make sure that there's a bill of rights for crypto, including support and defending non-custodial wallets and making sure that we can use crypto the way we want to use crypto, but also getting asset classification taken care of so we can get the SEC out of this insanity that we've seen in the last few years and the regulation through enforcement to come to an end. And there's going to be a lot of great partners that I think are kindred spirits. As I've mentioned, I had a wonderful phone call with Brad from the Ripple community. And he's a good CEO. He's a good guy, too. I've known him for years, and it feels good to be back on the same team. It feels good to be talking to each other. There's a lot going on right now, but he wants to get done. I also reached out to Lehman Baird from Hedera, and we're right now in the process of getting a call set up. So we've been going back and forth, and secretaries are working with each other. And I'm just kind of working my way through a lot of the different cryptocurrency ecosystems. It's time we come together, speak with one voice, and we get policy where it needs to be so crypto can get to the next level. There are trillions of dollars of real world assets and trillions of dollars of potential business that could come into crypto. We just have to get over the regulatory hurdle that we're currently in as an industry. And the good news is everybody's unified on this. The House, the Senate, and the presidency are all unified in wanting to get crypto policy passed that cleans up this mess. We are no longer talking about politics. Elections are over. People are now in power, whether you like them or not. They got to lead and they got to get stuff done. So you'll notice that I'm not tweeting about politics anymore, and I'm not talking about it anymore. We're real focused, and we got that lupine energy now. We're fired up. We're ready to go. And the focus is going to result in the next 9 months, we got to get a law passed, and we got to figure out how to make that happen. It's a very complicated thing. It's a very technical thing. It takes a lot of listening, and also it takes a lot of learning. So a baseline has to be established for the industry as a whole. So all the American crypto businesses, they need to get a survey, and they need to actually write down who they are, what they do, who their customers are, how they make their money, and most importantly, what's been going on with the U.S. government and them. And then all that stuff feeds up, and it gets to a single point. And then that can be used to get the policy changes, the executive orders, and also the laws to get the industry where it needs to go. And if we score it right, meaning we look at international regulation, whether it be the JFSA or the Singapore Monetary Authority or ADGM in Abu Dhabi or VARA in Dubai, or we look at Switzerland and FINMA, we can go through all the different regulators of concern, doesn't matter. We can say, okay, well, this is what they do, and this is what we're going to do post-law. And post changes. And guess what? We're going to be number one. That's the goal. So that will bring trillions of dollars into the industry, get us to the next level. Innovation is still churning along. There's a little bit of competition now for midnight. We're still going to win, but it's nice to actually have good competitors. The Espresso team is incredible. They're some of the best people in the industry. And the same for the Aleo team. They're very solid, come from A16Z, and they got a lot of bright people on that side of the aisle. Mina's looking good too. People are really starting to upgrade to get to these next generation programmables, private smart contracts. So we're really starting to speed up on midnight, and we're learning a lot from what they brought to market, and it helps us kind of orient ourselves. But I think that midnight is going to be a Leviathan in 2025 based upon how it's being launched, how the ecosystem's coming together, the reception that we've all gotten, and the combination of core technologies, and the fact that Cardano can launch midnight, meaning you're decentralized from day one, and you don't have to go and build like a whole layer one network effect or have governance keys or these types of things. You're just decentralized from day one. That's how it should be. And VCs didn't come in and screw up the distribution and all these other things. And that's the kind of stuff that makes a huge difference. Midnight is a gift to the entire industry, and it's what is going to get us where we need to go as an industry. We need private smart contracts, and we need identity so that we can get all of those real world assets and security tokens and other such things in. And what's beautiful is the very same thing that does Bitcoin DeFi on Cardano by adding Midnight to the list. So you have a tri-hybrid application, 3 blockchains, Cardano, Midnight, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, for the first time ever, is going to have a privacy layer for private smart contracts. How about that? So can't wait to collaborate with the Bitcoin community on that. Got a lot of work to do. Bitcoin Education Project is coming back, and we're definitely going to talk about what makes Bitcoin special and unique and what makes Bitcoin the dominant cryptocurrency. There's a lot of philosophy there. That's good philosophy. It's good to be reading again, good to be thinking again in that sphere. But then also, what are things you can do to extend that mindset, but still stay in the Bitcoin ecosystem and keep the Bitcoin guarantees? Bitcoin OS, we're also going to try to put it through the innovation group. Some backfilling has to be done on the security model. I really want to make sure a solid academic paper gets written about the innovations that were done there. And we've done this once before. Satoshi created Bitcoin, and then our scientists wrote GKL 15, which is the foundational model proving Bitcoin is secure. So it went from an intuition and heuristic viewpoint to a formalized, rigorous viewpoint, which is pretty cool. And it just shows you how brilliant of a person Satoshi was to just intuitively come up with something that years later was proven actually not only to be right, but actually a dominant model in many different respects. So hopefully we can do the same for Boss. And if there are anything to clean up, it'll get cleaned up. And then we're off to the races. But anyway, enough about me talking. There's a lot more to say. Can't mention things about NDAs and still about ongoing conversations. Of course, I want to talk to you guys. It's an AMA. That's what makes AMAs fun. Okay.